Hello everyone, since the Genshin Impact global launching is approaching, I'm here making a video for you guys to introduce the stamina system in this game and gather some tips from experienced players so that you can spend your stamina in a more efficient way, okay? So actually the stamina in this game is the yellow bar next to the characters, but the stamina we're talking about is not this, okay? It is actually called, right here, it's called original resin. It's a resource which will replenish over time, and if you play other mobile games, it's probably called stamina. So, first question is, how can you replenish your stamina? As I said, you can do that over time. And it will recover 1 point for every 8 minutes, which means 180 points per day. Or you can consume something called the fragile resin, which looks like this. So you can get some of these by completing the main quest or other things. So these are very useful stuff. If you don't know how to use your stamina, just don't use them. They'll be more useful in the future. The third way you can do that is by spending the gems, which is right here. Okay. So the first time you spend a gem, you use 50 gems for 60 stamina, or original resin, as it says. You can do this as many as 6 times per day, and the cost will be higher and higher, which is from 50. Second time will be 100, 100, 150, 200, 200. So if you don't plan to spend a lot of money in this game, I would recommend do this no more than 3 times per day. But if you really like it, if you want to spend some money on it, it's up to you. Okay, so that's about the stamina, how you can replenish it. The next question is, where should I use the stamina? So there are a couple of ways you can use your stamina. If you press F1, you can go to this menu. The first way you can spend your stamina is these bosses. So these two bosses, or the ley line outcrop, what we call the money flower and the experience flower. So these two are two major ways to spend your stamina. Each time you harvest the reward, you will need to spend 20. Okay, so you can navigate where they are on the map, and each time you finish one, there will be another one coming out from nowhere and randomly on the map. Okay, so that's the first way you can do this. You can spend your stamina. The second way, again, go to bosses. Some of the bosses you don't need stamina to harvest the reward, but some of the bosses, which they call the elite, you do need 40 stamina to collect the reward. Okay, there are several elite bosses right here. Each one will cost you 40, and the reward is generally the materials to upgrade your characters and some of the artifacts here. And other than that, just to mention, these bosses, you can kill them again and again. I think every few minutes they will respawn, except for this one. Okay, this is one of the true bosses. So the respawn time is a week. You can kill the boss once per week, and it has one of the best rewards in this game, and you need 60 stamina. Another true bosses, which I will call, is in the domains, and it's right here. Okay, so this is another way you can spend your stamina, which is called domains. That's something we'll mention later, but this is also once per week. To come back to the bosses, as I said, some of the bosses you don't need stamina, which you can kill them anytime you want. But for these, which needs 40 stamina to collect the reward. The general principle is only when you need these materials to kill the boss. Never spend your stamina on these bosses in early game unless you really need the materials, okay? So one thing you need to understand is some of these materials you don't need to actually kill the boss to get these stuff. If you go to the shop right here, okay, in the main city, you can trade for some of these materials using the token right here. So make sure you have traded all these either the character upgrade materials or the weapon upgrade materials. Trade them first and then spend your stamina. Okay, so to summarize, okay, in early game you don't want to spend your stamina in these bosses or the domains. Okay, the domains have three major types: the artifact domains, the weapon essential materials domains, and the talent level up material domains. So as you enter from later games, you have better and better rewards. So save your stamina for later. Don't play these domains at the very early game. Okay, it's a waste of your stamina. So talking about that, how the reward would change over the time, we have to mention a very important concept called the adventure rank and the word level. So starting from adventure rank 25, every 5 ranks you will get 1 word level. So how does that affect your stamina plan? So basically as the word level goes up, you have better and better reward from the dungeons or the domains. That is why I'm saying at the early game, don't spend your stamina in those domains because you don't get the good reward. You can get those from the shop, okay? Alright, that being said, what's my suggested way to use the stamina before level 30? Before level 30, before your adventure rank level 30, the best way to spend your stamina is to focusing on these 2 bosses, for the gold and for the experience. Only when you need to upgrade your character or the weapons, you go to the following bosses, the elite bosses for the materials, once you have traded all those from the shops. Okay. And I have to mention that if you're not planning spending a lot of money before level 30, focus on 2 of the characters. You don't have enough resources to fully upgrade a team, which means 4 characters. Okay? After level 30, each time you enter into a new word level, the way you spend your stamina is check your characters and see which materials do you need from these domains. Either upgrade the weapon, or you want to focus on your talent, and also you want to upgrade your characters, which means you need some of the elite bosses killed. So do that, and just get enough materials to finish that upgrade. Okay, and then the rest of the stamina, again, focus on the gold and the experience. You will need a lot of gold after level 40. So I would say the priority is probably the gold, but you have to decide that by yourself. And after level 40, level 40 is where some big change will happen. So level 40, these artifacts domains is starting to give you the highest level of these artifacts. So now I can get the blue one and purple one. But at level 40, you're able to get the gold artifacts from these domains. So that's when you can start to try these artifacts domains. For everything else, the weapon ascension or the talent level up, the general principle is only get it when you need it. Okay. After level 45, you can start to pick another 2 characters to level them up, using the same strategy I've been describing before. And I have to mention that if a character is getting to level 80, the resources it takes from level 80 to level 90 is enough to upgrade a new character from level 1 to level 80, which means rather than upgrading a one character from level 80 to level 90, you probably want to start a new character to focus on, and you do need that many characters for later games. Okay. Alright, and again, after level 45, or even slightly before that, you can consider your support characters and their artifacts. Alright, so that's a summary of your stamina plan.